What's going on, people? Today, my voice is going to be a little low, so please forgive me. And I will make sure that I do my very best to take care of it, because I know that a lot of you that are there are really just kind of doing your thing. And I just feel like I need to share with you guys what's going on. Today, as the title dictates, is called The Perfect Prayer. Today we're going to talk about the perfect prayer. I got some water to make sure I can keep my throat. Nice and moist, because the more moisture, the easier it is for me to talk. So it's called the perfect prayer. Now, I'm going to talk about some things that are going to kind of mess some of your religion up in some of the organizations that you've been a part of. So I'm here trying to make this work, and it will work, and we will get some things together. So my name is William Dallas, or Pastor Dallas. I've been in ministry for over close to 30 years. And in that time of ministry, I've learned to transition from religion to Christianity to spirituality, or to be spiritual. So I talk about that a lot, and I hope that helps a lot of you. But today we're going to talk about the perfect prayer on the Higher Talks Chronicles. Guys, this is William Dallas with the Higher Talks Chronicles in my makeshift studio. There's stuff all around, and so I'm kind of doing everything myself. So if you are interested in watching the entire broadcast and you are on Instagram, what you can do is go to my YouTube page, which I'm putting on there now. Go to my YouTube page, which is YouTube, or for those of you that are of the antiquated, www.youtube.com/higher talk. Make sure I got that correct. /higher talk. Higher talk. Yep, that's it. So /higher talk. And that you can actually watch the entire teaching on that broadcast. So if you are on there, kind of give me a hello, let me know you're there, and make sure you subscribe, and we can get that done for today. Now, like I said, today is going to be called the perfect prayer. Today is going to be called the perfect prayer. And the reason I say this, I'm going to reveal a lot of things about church that a lot of people are probably going to be a little uncomfortable with. And unfortunately, the truth sometimes is uncomfortable. Now, when talking about church, I want to use something that I used yesterday in the training. And that's this slide right here. In Deuteronomy 8:18, it says, "But remember the Lord your God, for it is he who giveth thee the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms his covenant, which he swore to your ancestors to this day." And you notice there are two things that I've highlighted: remember and ability. Okay, remember and ability. So it says, remember, it is he. Castro, call me after this. I want to talk to you. Remember the Lord your God. Now, one of the things that always bothered me about church, and I'm going to use church in the corporate form, or the terminology church in the corporate form. One of the things that really bothered me about church was the ability not to take responsibility. The ability not to take responsibility. What happens a lot of times with us is because we say we trust God, we say we believe God, but in actuality, we are in a position where we're in hope and desperation. Now, what does that mean to you? I, with confidence, can tell you that I'm going to teach you how to pray, and those prayers will produce something for your life. But when you follow church leadership, a lot of times we use terms and terminologies that make us not look like a bad person if something doesn't happen. You follow me? For example, you come to me and ask me to pray for you. I don't pray for you hoping that the prayer comes to pass. I pray for you with the confidence that something is going to happen. And in many cases, because of the ability to hear what the Spirit is saying, I speak with definite determination or full confidence in what I pray. Example, you will hear a pastor say, if it be God's will. Now, I understand that within the logic or the ecology of the Spirit, but it is always God's will to give you the best. So that means that if you desire wealth, it is God's desire for you to be wealthy. So when I come and I agree with you in prayer, or I will agree with you in actual actions, what happens to you is I believe what I prayed. I believe what's said. Now, if I am who God says that I am, which I believe that I am, and I am also a businessman, I am also a businessman. So that means that when I am moving in directions, I have to move with confidence. If I don't move with confidence, what will happen to me is I'll find myself living a life of possibilities, but not actualities. Not actualities. So possibilities and actualities. So what am I saying by that? There's a passage in Romans, the 8th chapter, and the 28th verse, and it says, for we know that all things work together for the good to them that love God, and to the called according to his purpose. So within that, your love for God is a commitment that you believe that he is who he says he is. So when you pray, now, I am not talking about a specific type of prayer. There are sects of prayer that we talk about. We talk about the one that is called to move you forward. That's prospering, meditation, and prayer. This is going to move you forward. So that's one type of prayer. Trying to be sexy. Then there's the prayer. Then there's the prayer of covering, where you just get up and kind of really tell God, thank you for what you've done and for covering those things. Each of these prayers are acknowledgement of a fact that God is who God says he is. Does that make sense? Then there's the prayer of direction. You're praying for direction. You're praying for open up the doors or the windows of heaven or whatever you want to say. I'm talking about the prayer that moves you from point A to point B. That prayer is a prayer that says, I trust and I believe in God. Got it? Okay. So now, let's use an example. There are those of you, and a number of you, that need money. You need money. Now, go to my YouTube page before what I'm about to talk about. I'm going to share something with you. It's coming from the class that we talked about yesterday. There are a lot of you that need money. So what is happening, I told you yesterday, the last thing is be aware. Second law is be aware. So when you pray, the key to prayer and seeing your prayers answered is not praying for the thing you're looking for. It's praying to be in position to get what's already yours. Okay. Example. You need $10,000. Let's just say that. You need $10,000. So you need $10,000. You get into the position where you are able to hear exactly what your spirit is saying pertaining to the money. Okay? So that means that you're not praying for the money to come. You're praying to be where the money comes to. I guess y'all got me. You're not praying for the money to come. You're praying for where the money is coming to. What is the difference? One, you gain the fish. The other, you gain the knowledge to fish. One, you gain the fish. The other, you gain the knowledge to fish. So if you go and attract the money, you now have to figure out how to attract it again. But if you go to where the money is coming to, where the money lands, you don't have to do that a second time. What you simply do is make sure you're in that position for the next move. Now, positions may change, but you have to understand something about God. God will not take an opportunity and allow that opportunity not to be to the best benefit of you. He will not do that. So that means that now, let me say this. At the end of this video, I'm going to share some ways I've seen to make money. But I got to get you out of the religious mentality before you begin to make the money. Okay? Got it. So you're going to need $10,000. Now, here's the thing. So you're in position. Now, when you're in position, whatever he says to do, you have to learn to do. Because it is not going to be easy for your flesh or the carnal nature of who you are. It is going to be very difficult for you to do something. Why? Because whatever that is he's trying to move out of the way is hindering you from the next level of your movement. You follow me? For example, he tells you to sell your favorite cell phone. He tells you to sell your favorite cell phone. And you're going, well, Lord, I love my cell phone. I want to. You got to get out of the emotions of that. You got to get out of the thought process of that. And you have to be where he needs to be. Listen to me. Many of us have been over the years, we have attempted to go to church and gather what we need from God, from church. And we believe that it resides there. Now, in some cases it does. But in most cases, it resides where you are. Because God has positioned you where he wants you to be. And within that position is everything you're asking him for. Is everything you're asking him for. So if you're in the right position, but you're not getting what belongs to you, it's not God. It's what are you attracting? What do you desire? What's your world look like? What are your disciplines? Are you procrastinating? What are you doing that's not allowing your prayer to connect to the level of spiritual insight or spiritual abundance that you desire? Does that make sense? Why? Because what you're trying to do is be in position where abundance finds you. All things work together. Romans 8:28, Romans the 8th chapter, 28th verse, the first part of it. All things work together for the good to them that love God. Well, God, I love you. Why don't I have a business? God, I love you. Why don't I have a husband? God, I love you. Why don't I have a wife? Why don't I have a car? Why don't I have all these different things that I can possibly have or that I desire? Well, the key becomes, do you desire them? Do you need them? Are they something that will feed upon your lust? Is it something that is feeding your lust? A lot of people, a great deal of people, find themselves feeding their lust. Now, I'm not talking about your sexual lust. What I'm talking about, those of you that are here, I want you to see this. When I said what I'm talking about is the thing that is not benefiting you or making you a better person. Hear me now. Some of you need to handle certain issues in your life so you can operate spiritually. Now, look at the first part of this passage again. But remember. But remember. The first two words say, but remember. That's what it says. Why does it say, but remember? When you are moving forward, and if you want your prayers answered and you want to get to a different level, don't start looking at the things that are external and the things you feel are in the way. The reason you don't do that is because nothing is powerful enough to stop you from doing what you would like to do. There's nothing powerful enough to do it. So if you are powerful and something is stopping you, it's not the thing that's stopping you, it's how you feel about the thing that is stopping you. Now that's deep. I want you to hear that. It's not this thing that's stopping you, it's how you feel about it. One of the biggest challenges I find with people, especially that say they're Christian or even that say they're spiritual, they don't tell the truth. They don't tell the truth. And the reason they don't tell the truth is because most of the times we're afraid of the repercussions of the truth because we respect people at a level that protects our flesh or protects our mentality or protects us. We respect people at the level that makes us feel protected. For example, someone comes to you and says, man, I'm trying to make this money. Why can't I make this money? And you want to tell him, listen, because you're lazy. You are just lazy. If you would get a disciplined regimen of what needs to be done, you will make money. But we won't say that. We'll say, well, man, I don't know what the deal is. Maybe, maybe. Remember what I said? When you pray with confidence. You pray in distinct directions. You don't pray hoping. Now, you may not want to say it to him like that. Then again, you might want to. But you want to make sure you speak the truth. Now, why am I saying that? Because here's what I want you to understand. I'm not talking about the ability to lie or being a liar. I'm talking about the ability to speak the truth and respect the truth over the feelings that you have about these situations. I need money. William Dallas needs money. So I have to realize that there are accesses that God has dropped in my mind on how to get this particular money. So if he tells me to call up my mother who has passed away and ask her for the money, I can't feel some kind of way because I know that's where it is. See, you have built this wall of emotions between you and what you desire. So when it comes to making money, you weave around the truth of who you are and you make a little bit of something over here and you hold on to that success and go, I am successful because I made $500,000. But the true you is you made $500,000 and you don't know how you're going to make another $500,000. The truth of the matter is you have put yourself in a position where you're not living your authentic life, nor are you living your authentic truth. Excuse me, guys. So when you pray, you have to go through a process. And the process has nothing to do with what you prayed for. It has to do with what you're prepared to take, prepared to receive. It's not what you prayed for. It's what you're prepared to receive. So if you're prepared to receive something, when you pray, it's simply revelation. It's simply showing you, it's simply opening up your eyes. So, your prayer. Now, let me give you a couple of pointers when it comes to praying. Pointer number one. Prayer is not a beg from God. It is not you pleading with God, begging God, promising God something so that he'll do what you want him to do. Prayer is the belief that when you talk to your Father, he has what you supply, what you have need of, or what you're praying for. Prayer is simply submitting what you have need of from God and he giving it to you. But the Bible says in Hebrews 11:6, he that comes to God must first believe that God is, and God is a reward of them that diligently seek him. Now, diligently and faith are two of the same things. Diligent means I believe and I focus on that I believe so I can apprehend that which I'm asking for. Faith is being faithful to it. So you're ready for the next level. You're working, you're ready to leave your job. The first thing you should say to yourself is, what do I sacrifice to leave? What am I willing to sacrifice to leave this job? What am I willing to sacrifice to get the husband, to get the wife, to get the business, to make the $1 million? What am I willing to sacrifice? Here's the funny thing. And the sacrifice has nothing to do with money. Your sacrifice has nothing to do with money. It has to do with your ability to allow yourself to be yielded enough, free enough, open enough to take those things that are in your way and move them out of the way. So, example. When I first moved to Baltimore, when my wife and I were married, on my credit is one blotch. There are no other blotches on my credit. There's one blotch, and it's a blotch from this particular credit card. So here's the deal. When I was using this particular credit card, I needed to make a payment. It would be funny if I'm in pain, but I'm not in pain. I needed to make a payment. In the process of making the payment, I was working haphazard. I preach sometimes. I'm now married. I'm married to Kendra. She's my wife. I preach sometimes I don't. But I had money coming in. I had spent all my money on nothing frivolous. I spent all my money on all the things that I would spend my money on. So in the process of that, I get to the point of paying this bill. In my desire not to make my wife feel like she has to take care of me, I don't ask her for the money. We're talking $100. That's it. We're not talking about $1,000. We're talking about $100. So my ability not because I felt some kind of way. It's my wife. Kendra's never made me feel uncomfortable about money. Nobody makes me feel uncomfortable about money. But I was afraid to say, honey, I need $100. I did everything. I did everything I could to get that $100. Everything I could do within my power to get that $100. Didn't get it. Bill went behind. Now I'm embarrassed because I should have been paying my bills. So the bill went behind 30 days. Finally, I got the money. I paid the bill. But on all my credit, everything is excellent. But that one bill has a late payment that nobody can get off. You can write all the letters you want. For those of you that don't know, I have a small business consulting firm. I have a credit person, business plan person, trust person, insurance person, business structure person. All those are part of my organization. Nobody can get that thing off my credit. And they have tried. You know why they couldn't get it off my credit? Because I allowed emotion to cause me to miss the directing of God. So emotion, now, that's my blight. That is my Achilles heel or my scar, my Jacob's scar. There are those of you that are sitting here wanting to get to the next level, and that's your scar. Your scar is your fear to go, I can do this. I'm going to do this. I'm not going. That's the sacrifice. That is the sacrifice. Some of you need to be able to tell, and I was talking to a young lady yesterday, some of you need to just simply acknowledge that you're mad, that you're disappointed, that you're sad. Some of you need to get to the point that you allow yourself to be real with who you are. I don't know how to do it. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to call. Some of you need to become real with who you are. Why? It makes your prayers answered. It gives you the opportunity to answer your prayer. That becomes now your catalyst for your next level. You follow me? I had to get to the point. It is the funniest thing in the world. My wife and I have this challenge. It's the funniest thing in the world. When someone asks you, are you asleep? The first thing you say is, I'm not asleep. Not only do you say you're not asleep, you will argue with the person saying that you weren't asleep. Why? You were asleep. It's okay. But because you feel some kind of way about that, you in turn find yourself in that position. That is number one to getting your prayers answered. Be honest with yourself. Let truth stand. Let it continually stand. Let it always stand. The second thing is be on purpose. Be on purpose. And I cannot say this enough, and I will try to say it as much as I possibly can. Be on purpose. I have dealt with person after person after person, and they are not on purpose. They are haphazardly moving into areas that have absolutely nothing to do with where they want to go. Now, let me see if this thing, there it is right here. Okay, so be on purpose. Be on purpose. Look at this right here. Prayer means nothing without purpose. Prayer means nothing without purpose. Now, if you understand that, then you understand that why do you pray? Now, let me help you out. It's going to help you out. If you want to be a wealthy person, if money is your thing, your prayer should be purely honest with what you want to do with this money, where your heart is when it comes to the money. So, if you want $1 million, now, you having a Bentley, big houses, nice clothes, and this new purse. Who's this new purse that everybody's talking about? This really, really expensive purse. Handbag. Oh, I don't know what you got. Then you need to be honest. Not only do you need to be honest, you need to be focused. What is the purpose of what you're trying to do? Why? Purpose, it evolves into more than what you're praying for. Example, I told you guys yesterday that, and some of you remember, some of you don't. I told you guys yesterday that someone gave me a Mercedes-Benz S5 series, S5 series. And when he told me that, when I tell people that, they kind of look at me like, how did he do that? There was purpose in my prayer. I wasn't trying to get it to flaunt. Listen. I wasn't trying to get it to flaunt because flaunting is not of God. Y'all don't understand something. You don't have to flaunt anything to prove that God is God. I wasn't trying to flaunt. I needed to get from point A to point B. Of all the cars I've ever driven, that car had the most leg room. The second thing you need to understand, flaunting is not of God, but when you get to a point that you operate the way He's created you, it's an automatic flaunt. It's an automatic flaunt. It's going to happen anyway. See, here's the thing I want you to understand about God. God is not by any stretch of the imagination trying to not let you have nice things. What he's trying to get you to understand, don't let the nice things possess you. It's 11 o'clock. I'm not going to say this all the time. Don't let those things possess you. Now, let me say this. Having a Bentley yesterday, either yesterday or the day before yesterday, I'm driving. I have a big body Volvo. I have the big body Volvo. I'm driving someplace, and as I'm driving, this guy walks to my door. He's far enough away from my door that I see him, but not close enough that he can touch me or the car. And he goes, "I love your car." Now, when the purpose of you purchasing things is for the effectiveness of the thing, God will give you everything. When you pray to use something and not try to possess everything, God will give you everything. See, you have to realize that a flaunt is something that says, I want you to see who I am. You follow me? But when you move, people will see you. Your spirit speaks to other people's spirit. Your position cries out. Your spirit cries out to your position. There will be people that, and have happened. I've been in the mall. I've been in the store. Oh my God, bro, that is a nice car. I'm not trying to do it. It's a nice car. But if you decide that you're doing it purely for the fact that it is something that you like or you need, and you don't flaunt it, watch it comes to you faster. I could drive a Volvo. I could drive a Mercedes Benz. I could drive whatever I want to drive. It doesn't make a difference to me. If I could, I'd give the car away. But I would not give somebody a bill. That's not the way I work. I wouldn't give you a bill. So, your perfect prayer comes when you have purpose. See, religion will tell you to go lay hands on it, go put oil on it, go do all these things. I'm simply saying one thing. Get into spiritual position. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything else. I'm not telling you to do anything else. Just get into spiritual position. What do you desire? Do you desire to be rich so you can show everybody that you got money? Do you desire to be married because you just don't want to be by yourself? I don't want to be by myself. Whoa. Do you desire to be away from your job because you're tired of the people? Those are not spiritual reasons to move. Those are Christian reasons to move, but they're not spiritual reasons to move. When you desire to be married because you know with this particular person you won't be better, you are not going to live a better life if this person isn't in your life, then you're operating spiritually. When you go, I want a new car because I can be effective with a new car more than I am without the car. I can be effective without a car, but I can be effective with the new car. When you look for a step that's 2 to 5 steps further than where you are right now, you'll see God begin to answer prayers like they go out of style. But your heart's got to be right. Your heart's got to be right. And when your heart is right, then the doors begin to open. Why? Because the thing says all things work together for the good to them that love God. Loving God is not doing all the perfect things, all the right things. Loving God is your ability to be God-like in your movement and saying, I'm dedicated to God. Not the way church tells you, or religion tells you, or any of those dogmas tell you. You love God purely from your heart. From your heart. And when you love God from your heart, He will ignite inspiration that will move your heart from just a heart to a raging, flaming power to move forward. And the Spirit will ignite that, and you'll be able to do exactly what you need to do. Now guys, that was rough. I am going to go take care of my throat and get myself to a point where I can talk at a better level. Tomorrow is my, let me make sure. Yes, tomorrow is my Instagram day. So I will be on, no. We're going to stay on YouTube. Everybody go subscribe and tell 5 people about this video. Tell them to go watch it. It'll be on YouTube. Tell 5 people to watch the video. It will transition them. It will change their life. So tell 5 people to watch the video. And you watch it again and again and again. Get it in your spirit. Take notes. Make sure that perfect prayer be on purpose. That's perfect prayer is a purpose. A prayer that's on purpose. Not to be a purpose to pump you up or to make you big and bad and pompous, but to put you in a position where God can use you as a place that He can point His light. And watch people bless you. Now, I apologize, guys. I am really trying my best, but I'm going to go now. Thank you for all your letters to talk about the Power Couple. About the retreat. We have retreats happening all the time. That's our spiritual retreat. We also have a couples retreat. We also have a leadership retreat. The leadership retreat is for leaders of groups. You'll learn leadership, how to grow your following, how to build your tribe. We're preparing that too, because that's what I do. I do conferences, I do gathering people, and I give people opportunities so that they can get in front of people and they can gather. I've always done that. So that is coming up as well. Sandy Owens, I thank you. David Sims, I thank you. Everybody, I appreciate you guys for watching us and indulging me and allowing me to move in the areas that I believe I've been mandated to move into. If you have a specific question or something you want me to specifically talk about, DM me on Instagram. That's Instagram.com/higher talk. If you want interested in any of the conferences, give me a call and I'll take care of that. All right, guys. I love you. I've got to go because my throat is really bothering me. And they told me just let it heal. Stop talking. My hard-headed tail wanted to be here talking to y'all, but that's okay. All right, I love you. I'm William Dallas. This is Higher Standards Chronicles, where we teach you how to level up the spirit of your mind and not your voice. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.